Hey guys, this is Bear Gaming and welcome back to our channel. And also, welcome to our very first video of our new segment here in our channel, which is Hero Spotlight. So, I'm very sorry I wasn't able to post yesterday any video because I was currently doing this. I happened to create a video, but it seems after it ended, it seems that there are some information that I forgot to mention. So I really had second thoughts if I should upload it or not. And at the end, I decided not to because it's really lacking. So it's Saturday here today, and this is considered a take two. And so let's start. Hero Spotlight is a new segment here in our channel wherein we are going to feature a specific hero for the day. We are going to discuss the profile, stories, skill animation, of course, that's my favorite, the skill set, basic gearing and artifacts, and the fatecores. So for today, our very first Hero Spotlight is going to be Rakel. And you might be wondering why I often pronounce his name as Rakel, because if you use Ramley, or if you happen to encounter him in Zeben's Stunner, there are some skill animation, or even when he is defeated, he would really mention or call out to Rakel. So instead of saying Rachel, I clearly hear him say it's Rakel. So that's just a little side note. So if you haven't gotten the hero yet, you are going to check him out in the journal. So that's on the right portion of the screen. You can see heroes over here. And then, this is Rakel.
Is this all you've got?
So you know here in Exos Heroes, there are two versions of a certain hero. So there's the hero itself, which is this one. And there's also the Fatecore version, which in my term is the costume. So if you get Rakel, this is what you get, the hero itself. And you can see the skill set on the left portion of the screen. It says here, the passive, Aya Jutsu, increases critical hit rate of all back row allies by 10% at the start of battle. When an ally lands a critical hit, increases own critical damage by 10%, stacks up to 4 times. So that's 10% times 4 is 40%. Then Conquest increases attack defense and max HP of heroes from Lenombe by 10%. So guys, there's also two kinds of heroes here in the game. So there are the generals, and the second one are the regular heroes under a specific nation. So Rakel is a general, so he holds this special passive where he increases the attack defense and max HP of heroes under his nation, which is Lenombe. So they can benefit from him whenever he is under the team. The first skill is Quick Slash. It says here deals 262% damage to one enemy and 70% chance to purge all buffs from target. And then the second skill is Silent Slash, deals 525% damage to one enemy and 90% chance to mana burn 5 mana the target. So that's his skill set for the hero. And then if you want to take a closer look, you can see this magnifying glass in the middle. Just press this one, and this will lead you to the hero introduction page where you can see the hero. You can see him over here. This is what he looks like. You can actually zoom in to have a closer look. So he has this armor, and his weapon really looks unique because you can see his shield has this mouth-like crevice wherein he can hold the sword, the twin lance sword, or is it double-edged sword? And you can also zoom out. And then whenever you pull for heroes or summon, whenever you can see this,
I am their leader, but King's Guard are not so obedient.
okay, whenever you see this, it means you got him. For the hero illustration, you can see this is illustration of Rachel. And then the skill preview. With this, you'll be able to see the skill animation. This is the normal attack for Rachel. And you can see the passive if you're going to long press. And the next, this one, is the first skill.
What are you looking for?
Yep. And this is the second skill. So if you happen to hear any background noises, just ignore it. So that's the skill animation. And next, the hero story. Here's the profile of Rachel. So Rachel is a warrior. He's a male. His nation is Saint West. So don't be confused, because earlier we said that his nation is Lenombe. Yes, he's really the general of Lenombe, but maybe this is where he came from, since his parents are from Saint West. So probably that's the case, because at first I was also wondering why it says here nation Saint West, although he's from Lenombe. So probably that's the origin. Hero tier fated. So there are no other hero tiers for Rachel. I mean, whenever you get him, you cannot get the version of legendary or rare or anything else, because originally he's a fated hero tier. Element is fire, and in Exos heroes, elementals also exist. So if he's fire, he's strong against nature element heroes. And Rachel is weak against ice type heroes. But it's not necessarily that way. Though there is an advantage, you can see there is a bigger damage when you do elemental. But, well, in my case, I really don't mind that much. So he's 19 years old, race is human, position attack, so he's an attack type hero, and his birthday is on December 14. You can see a little short story about him. The King's Guard of Saint West, the second prince of Saint West born to King John Dong and the second queen, Queen Emma. Rachel showed his brilliance from a young age and excelled in martial arts. Therefore, King John Dong favored Rachel over his brother, Nemeris, the child of the first queen, Queen Carrie. Rachel witnessed the servant who had raised him die before his very eyes during an assassination attempt meant for himself. Afterwards, he became cruel and never showed mercy towards his enemies. Only a few know his true character due to his attempts to conceal such impulses. And the king also looks after him. Ramsey became Rachel's best friend during their King's Guard training, but has since disappeared and is suspected of regicide and the theft of Essex troop. Rachel is now searching for Ramsey at the new king's behest. So that's a little story of him. And here also in the hero introduction, you can see on the lower right portion of the screen, there's this small button where you can see the default stance, and then you can see also him in battle mode. So if ever you got the hero, you can check him out in Manage Heroes. And since I'm using him, or as you know, he's my most favorite hero here in the game, I really tried my best to build him up. And just below his image, you can see 3 slots. The first one is the Fatecore. So this is considered as the costume. He has several Fatecores, and the current one, which I'm equipping him on, is the Gold Fatecore. Actually, the colors of his costume is already dyed. I changed it to blue because originally it should look like this. This is the original color. So this is for the Gold Fatecore, and there's also Blue Fatecore. And if you want to know, you can change the appearance or costume of a specific hero without changing the Fatecore, because for Fatecore, this is the one you can see below the first slot. But the costume, you can see this clothes icon in the middle. Just press it and you can change the appearance easily.
There anymore? I am the
So
King's
below here,
Guard. You won't defeat me so easily.
let's talk about the Fate Core first. Okay, so this is
I
the
am the
gold
King's
Fate Core.
Guard.
And
won't
if you're
defeat
going
me
to
so
equip
easily.
him with the gold Fate Core, you can see the passive change. There's an additional sets of passive, which is Awakening. So there is a Fate Core theme here called the Awakening, and it says grants damage immunity one time to self when own health falls to 30% or below after receiving damage from the enemy and gain 2 mana. And there's also Pride of Warrior, increases critical hit rate of all allies equipped with Awakening theme Fate Core, and you can see the allies that will benefit from the Awakening theme or Pride of Honor special passive. So currently in the Awakening theme, he's also considered as the leader since the leader holds the gold Fate Core, which is this one. You can see the border is actually colored gold. It's shining. And there's also another Fate Core for Rakel, which is the blue Fate Core. So don't forget, for every Fate Core, there are additional stuff that you can see in the passive. So for the gold Fate Core, it's Awakening and Pride of Warrior. And for the blue Fate Core, if you happen to have it, and we're just going to replace, so this is what it looks like. And also don't forget, you can still use the gold version of the costume, and this will not affect the Fate Core.
Is this all
But
you've got?
since we're talking about the blue Fate Core, we are going to use this one.
Next.
If you're going to check
There
the passive,
anymore?
it has a different additional skill, which is Old Wounds. Deals extra damage equal to 30% of own current health when attacking an enemy one time per round. So you can see that the passive change based on the
I am the King's
regular
Guard.
version, which
You
is
won't
this one.
defeat me so easily.
It only has a special, and the Conquest increases attack, defense, HP of heroes under Lelombe. But when it's equipped with the Gold Fate Core, you can see there are
Is this all
additional
you've got?
skills, which is Awakening and Pride of Warrior. And if he equips the blue Fate Core, you can see it also changed.
Isn't there any more?
There's this additional Old Wounds. But for orange Fate Cores are considered as a aesthetic purpose Fate Core. It's like just for the costume, just for the looks. So he has a Christmas version. So if you ask me, you really have to check this Fate Core slot and do not mistake it to do not have it mistaken if you're going to equip it with an orange Fate Core instead of gold or blue, because for me, well, not really for me, in general terms, gold Fate Cores are the best if it's available, because they really have extra skill. So you can equip this just like this one, and you
Is
can
this
actually
all
change
you've
the
got?
costume by doing this.
Is this all you've got?
But let's check first the orange Fate Core, and if you
I
can
am
see
the
the passive
leader.
is just the same as the
King's
regular
Guard are
form.
not so obedient.
See, if you're going to unequip this,
I am the
it doesn't
King's
change
Guard.
anything.
You
But
won't
if you're
defeat
going
me
to
so
equip with the
easily.
gold Fate Core, you'll
I am
have
the
the
King's
additional
Guard.
Awakening and Pride of
You won't
Warrior
defeat me so
passive skill.
easily.
And if you're wondering, the first skill and second skill doesn't change. And sometimes, the skill animation has changes, but I think for this one, it doesn't. So currently, we are using the Gold Fate Core. So first, let's check the appearance effect. So
I
if
am
you
the
happen to
leader,
get
but
the Gold Fate Core
King's
version of
Guard are
Rakel,
not
this is
so
what it looks like. And then the skill preview, it's pretty much the same.
Struggle a bit more.
See?
Don't even think about escape.
So let's try the blue fate core. So if ever you're going to equip it with the blue fate core, or still, we are equipping the gold fate core, but I just changed the costume over here. So let's try and check the appearance effect.
I have the weight of my kingdom on my shoulders.
The difference here is that it has rose petals, and I think his lines are also different. If you're going to check the skill preview, you can see there are additional gold petals over here, and the first skill animation is different. Second skill,
I'm not the successor to the throne for nothing.
so the blue Fate Core version has a different skill animation, and if you're going to equip with the Christmas version, I think this doesn't have any appearance effect, but for the skill preview, it's just the same. Though I was really expecting that there will be Christmas ornaments popping about everywhere, but it seems there's none.
What are you looking at?
Yep, it's still the same. Because for other Christmas versions of some heroes over here, there are actually Christmas ornaments floating. So for Rakel, there's none. But you can see, this is the Christmas version. He has a reindeer costume. The weapon is just the same. There's no changes.
I am the king's
So we're just
guard.
putting it back
You won't
to
defeat
the
me
regular
so
one.
easily.
There's also a version here wherein you can see there is a pants icon just below on the right side portion of the icon. So
I am the
this is the one
king's
I'm using
guard.
because actually you can
defeat me
see
so
the crotch
easily.
side of the of the costume is much shorter compared to the regular one, which is this one. You can see
Is this all you've got?
it's so low. So I prefer using this, and I happen to dye this into Rhea's dye station
Is this all
so
you
that
got?
it will turn black. For me, it looks kind of formal. And also, I enhance the equipment's color for it to be gold, because for me, whenever I dye costumes for the heroes, whenever there are metallic aspects or metallic items on the hero, I just leave it as metallic, or probably I would enhance the color of the metals. But I prefer for the clothes to remain natural. So the middle icon, you can see I've equipped the exclusive equipment, and I got this I think it's a long time ago where the exclusive equipment was just free to get, but now you actually need to purchase it with CES, and it's quite expensive. So if you got the exclusive equipment, it says here, Rakel, when equipped, combat power is increased with an additional 10,000 combat power. And there's a little description which says Rakel's exclusive equipment, whenever Rakel wields his dual-edged sword, so it's called a dual-edged sword, a Grim Reaper appears to where Rakel's sword is pointing at. So before, I really thought whenever I can get this exclusive weapon, I could really see a Grim Reaper which will appear whenever Rakel points his sword, but it's just the description. So you can see the regular weapon looks like this. It's the same for the hero version or the regular version or probably the base hero. I really have a lot of terms. I hope you can keep up because it's my own way of understanding. So this is the basic weapon, and if ever you're going to equip the exclusive equipment, it changes to this one.
I have to kill.
So I just happen to change the color of the exclusive equipment to make it look more flashy, but it's still in gold, I remember. I just make it darker, or I prefer the darker shade of gold. It really looks nice. It's really shiny. And over here, if you're wondering for artifacts, I'm using this Relentless Determination series artifact because it says here, there's an 80% chance to counter the attacker when ally receives damage 1 time per 5 turns. So my guildmates and I are always discussing about fatecores, and I always get their tips, especially we have guildmates that are really keen or nitty-gritty when it comes to building their heroes. And like I said, I'm just basic when it comes to that. So I always get advice, and usually I can get this from Masters Uller and IE. If you happen to see them here popping in my streaming session most of the time. So they said that it's really good if you're going to equip this kind of artifact to your attack type heroes. So since Rakel is an attack type heroes, if ever you're going to check out the artifacts, you can only see the attack type artifacts. You cannot see the other ones because it's kind of fixed. If your hero is an attack type hero, you can only equip him with attack type artifacts. You cannot equip him with defense or chaos or support. So it's fixed. And remember, if you happen to watch my previous video about artifacts, it's better if you're going to save up your purple artifacts because they are easily built. You can just promote them to 5 stars because remember, you can promote this 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like this. So that you'll be able to get the full potential, which is level 30.
Huh? Oh, never mind.
When I started with the artifacts before, or when the artifacts was introduced to the game, I used to use this Vicious Gale Grius, and currently guys, this is the artifacts that's present in our artifact banner. It says here increases own critical hit rate for 20%, 50% chance to increase own critical damage by 35 for 5 turns at the start of own turn. So I used to use this, but when I changed it to this, I could really see Rakel counters a lot, and it's really helpful because Rakel is a damage dealer or DPS. So therefore, he's one of the characters who really deals damage. So it's up to you. You can also use this, and if ever you don't have this artifact yet, there are a lot of artifacts there that are really good as well. But for orange and gold artifacts, it's taking quite a time for us to promote them to 5 unless you're very lucky enough when it comes to pulls. I can also see this one is also good. Increases own attack by 30% for 10 turns and heals for 10% of own health when own health falls to 30 or below 1 time per battle. This is also good. You can see increases own hit by 20 and 30% chance to increase own attack. So you really don't have to worry about artifacts because every artifact here is really good. But for specific reasons, we just want our Rakel or probably your other attack type heroes or DPSs that's going to counter. So that's my advice for you. Look for this one. But if not, the others are still okay. Increases own effect resist by 35% for 12 turns when health is at 60% or below at the start of turn. See? It's really good as well. But this is what we prefer when it comes to attack type heroes. So when it comes to gears, since Rakel is a DPS or damage dealer, we use gears that are more on the damage side. So I currently equip him with critical set because it says here critical set 2/2, just below here, increases critical hit rate by 12%. So we need our attackers to have high critical hit rate. So currently, if you're going to check out the stats, I have speed at 299. And then critical hit rate, it's at 60%. Although this is considered low, it should be at probably 80 to 90. And my critical damage is at 301%. Effect hit is also 91. So why do we need effect hit with high percentage? Because Rakel has these effects on his skills. You can see this purge, 70% chance to purge all buffs. So buffs includes shields, heal over time. It could be increase of attack, defense. So any buffs. So there's a 70% chance for him to purge this. And the second skill here says special, 90% chance to mana burn. This is also considered a status effect. So in order for this 90% and the 70% chance to work or to be executed 100%, you need to have your effect hit high. So 90% is quite good already, because with this, the 70% chance to purge and 90% chance to mana burn will really take effect. So I hope you won't forget that. Next, since we have our critical set in 2-piece, the 4-piece gears, here I use destruction set 4/4, increases critical damage. So if you've been playing games for quite some time already, not only for Exos Heroes but also other games, probably gacha games or other games that requires you to build certain heroes with gears, I'm pretty sure you know the purpose of critical and critical damage when it comes to damage dealers, because this will this is considered as the multiplier for your attack. Before, when I started the game, or when the gears was introduced to the game, I used to equip him with dash set because I prefer him to be speedy. But even though he's speedy, I observed that the damage was really low, so I happened to change it with retaliation. So if you happen to check out what retaliation set is, it's actually a gear set with counter effects. You can see over here, 30% chance to counter upon receiving damage. But I observe whenever someone attack Rakel, it seems there is a very low chance for him to counter, and I couldn't see it actually in the battles. But when I equip with this artifact over here, Relentless Determination series, this is much better because I can see my character or Rakel does a counter attack frequently compared to the retaliation set, which is this one. This retaliation set. I guess 30% chance to counter is quite low. So if you want your characters to do counter attack, well, this only is what do you call this? Applicable for attack type heroes only. So for chaos heroes, there's no counter effect artifact. So this works better. So basically, for gears, I would suggest, if you're going to use critical set and critical damage or destruction set, you could also use dash set if you want your character to be speedy, but then you need a lot of critical hit rate and critical damage for the substats. Substats are these 4 lines over here. You can see currently in his gloves, you can see attack speed, effect resist, effect hit, defense. So I'm still on my way and changing some of the gears here because there are some lines in the substat that are really not that useful for him. So there are still rooms for improvement, if you ask me. Over here, for the helmet, it says here, attack is at 11%, attack speed 15%, effect hit 23%, critical hit rate by 4%. 4%. That's actually quite low, because there are others here, let's say 5% and also 10%. So maybe I could change this one and look for a specific helmet that has higher critical rate, because over here it's 4 and while over here it's 10. So there's still a lot of changes needed to be done. Resist, critical damage, defense. I might be changing, but still the sets are going to be critical hit rate and destruction set. So I think we've already discussed everything what we need to know about Rakel. We were able to check the profile, story. We were able to see the different skill animation, although some heroes do have different skill animations depending on their type of fate core. But for Rakel, the orange, gold, and the regular form is just the same. So the blue fate core has the different skill animation. Also, the different skill set, we were able to check that for different fate cores as well. So remember guys, if you're going to equip with you're going to equip your heroes with a fate core, it's best if you're going to equip with gold because they really have the better skill or additional passive skills. The blue one is good. Actually, I forgot to mention, if you're going to equip the blue fate cores are considered supports because they have this specific additional buff. I'm just looking for it. There's this additional buff wherein you can see they can increase or boost. Wait. No, not this one.
I have the weight of my kingdom on my shoulders.
Oh wait, we can see it over here. Just above your icon on the lower left portion of the screen, you can see this paid icon. You can tap it and see blue fate core. So over here, you can see the blue fate core of Raquel grants buff to heroes from Lenombe. Combat power is increased to 12%, 12.36%. Attack is at additional plus 6, HP at 30, and defense at 6.12%. So the numbers are bigger because I've already fused the blue fate core of Raquel by 5. So if you happen to get this, just one, I think it's lower. Probably just like say Melissa's over here. It has 2%, 1%, 6%, and 1%. So if you're using Raquel, it's best if you're going to collect his blue fate core and fusion it to 5 so that you can get these additional perks for combat power, attack, HP, and defense. And this will also benefit your Lenombe team.
Nothing I can't do.
So where is Raquel? Just went below because
You attacked me, so that's what you
I haven't enhanced this fate core yet. You can see there are no numbers compared to my gold fate core. That's already plus 30. This is the maximum fate core enhancement currently in the game. So if you're going to go back and push manage heroes button again, you can see that he's first in the line because I already filtered this to combat power. So currently I have the highest combat power at 1,552,902. So that's how I build my Raquel currently, but there will be some changes with the equipment. Not with the set, but for the substats. I really have to change this for him to become stronger. And I'm using this one.
Is this all you've got?
So I think that's our hero spotlight for today. We've discussed the profile, story, skill animation, skill set, basic gearing, fate core, colors, and effects and stuff. So if you have any suggestion or if I happen to miss something, you can just comment it in the comment section. And please do not forget to subscribe to my Twitch channel and also for my YouTube channel as well, where you can see all of my other Exos series content and other games as well. So if you have any suggestion on who should I feature in the Hero Spotlight next, you can just put it in the comment section. And I hope I was able to discuss everything, and this is for you guys who happen to suggest me doing a specific hero in a certain video at a time. So perfect timing, Hero Spotlight is here. And I hope this will really help you in building your heroes specifically. And I guess that's it. So this is Bear Gaming. Have a nice day, everyone.